There is some problem. I don't know.
Now we are seeing your presentation. There is no problem. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Is it okay right now?
Yeah, you can. If you want, you can do the slideshow.
Yeah,
and
I
then
will
you
try
can
that.
share it. You can share it, yeah.
Yeah.
Slideshow, and then you share it.
Okay, I would like to introduce myself firstly. I'm the Dr. Simsar. I'm working in one of the Turkish university as an assistant professor in early childhood education department. I'm interested with the science education in early childhood education. I'm happy to hear Dr. Serhan's study about the STEM, which is my under concern also. And I'm sure this kind of study, which is working with parents and children, will help them to improve the STEM majors and also children's interest on the STEM majors. I'm really happy to hear your study about STEM. In this study, like before I started my study, I would like to introduce why science is important in early childhood education. It is supports the children's language development, early math skills, and also early literacy, and also they have a chance to understand the scientific knowledge. What are their science concepts? Like having fun in the nature, developing positive attitudes towards science, which is really important for future also, understanding scientific concepts. We are trying to give some like earth and space science concept, life science concept, and also physical science concepts in early childhood education all around the world probably. Early acquisition of scientific terms, developing scientific understanding and reasoning skills, which is also really important for us, and also developing scientific thinking. Like we are trying to give basic science process to our children. Like they may have chance to observing skill, improve their observing skills, classifying skills, and also like hypothesizing skills or some things like that. But there are some issues about the teaching science in early childhood education. Most of the early childhood teachers feel uncomfortable while teaching science in their classroom. This is really big issues because if teachers don't give the science in early childhood classroom, who will give it? And also there is another issues about this topic. Like as I check the literature, there are many numbers of the studies about the teachers and also children, not their parents. That's why I would like to work on this study. When I check the literature, like I found this booklet, like for the improving the United States citizens parental involvement on science teaching in their home. The National Science Standards, the National Science Teacher Association highlighted the importance of parents while improving their children's science skills and success in science education. Like if we are planning to our children's can get a job on STEM majors, we should start in early ages. I'm not telling these ones because many researchers highlighted early childhood education, early childhood years for starting the science teaching in early years. Because based on the children's intrinsic curiosity, they are asking lots of questions about the life, world, moon, sun, sometimes universal, like they are asking the stars. Like I have a little girl and she always asking, where is the moon? Like these kind of questions, trying to get involve them into science. In this case, our parents need more supports for helping and also asking, responding their children's questions. Excuse me. As I stated earlier, like even if parents' importance highlighted in many cases, but there are few studies for showing parents and also children's science achievement. Studies about parents, like what I have found for showing, one of the studies stated that having science books, encyclopedia, and also spending time on the computer or laptop or kinds of that improve parents' positive attitudes towards science, and indirectly and also directly impacts their children's science knowledge also. In another study, researchers stated that parents' involvement, like we have some activities with parents' involvement, like we are inviting the parents to sometimes zoo activities, sometimes museum activities, sometimes in-class activities in early childhood education. That's why this kind of involvement also improve the parents' scientific knowledge and also directly their children's interest in science too. I had also another, like there are just few of them, like showing the having books about the science and also watching movies about the movies, cartoons about the science. As you remember, maybe Jetsons from the in earlier cartoons, it impacts our, like we are trying to learn the universal stars, like we learned some scientific words about the astronomy from these kind of cartoons. Like nowadays there was a movie about Interstellar, maybe if some of you watched, I'm sure you impressed from this kind of movies. And if you watch, I'm not telling you that it's okay with the watching with children, but for young children, these kind of movies try to think about the how important science for our world. In the current study, I just look at what Turkish parents think about science and science activities at early childhood classroom. In this regard, I asked my research question is, what are the variables that affect the views of parents with preschool children about science and science activities in early childhood? I used the descriptive research method, and I used the survey for taking the data. In this study, I collected the data from at least 6 different cities from the Turkey, and 442 mothers and fathers participated to study, and they have children the ages of 3 to 6 years old. As I see, you can see also demographic information of the parents, like their educational status, their ages, like most of the parents' age are between 31 to 36. And the participants, as I expected, most of the participants are mothers, because as the Turkish culture, the young children's, like mothers seems to be responsible for the young children. That's why they participated in this study. We can see the occupational studies, and also they show us how mothers are integrated to this study. And this is the last one is the important part of this study. Spending time on kitchen and also gardening activities, which is kind of planting, like growing some vegetables, and also trying to help children or to collaborating with children for growing some flowers or some things like that. And as I see, probably I'm expecting from the mothers, they spend sometimes, most of them, and also most of the time they spend in kitchen and also gardening activities. Data collection tool, I used one of the Turkish data collection tool, which was survey and developed by Sahin, Uludağ, Gedikli and Karakaya in 2018. In this survey, there are 5 dimensions. The dimensions are related about general views on science and preschool science activities, views on life science activities in the preschool period, views on physical science activities in the preschool period, views on earth and space sciences activities in the preschool, and also views on science activities at preschool. There was about 52 questions from this survey, and all the questions reliability were checked, and as I see, they are usable for this study. And also I had the demographic information such as, like as I showed it before, it's about age, gender, educational background, amount of time spent with children at the kitchen, and also gardening. Data collection process, I started to collect data on March 15, 2020, and it was ended in April 15, 2020. It was during the COVID-19 pandemic in Turkey. That's why every where was closed, and most of the mothers and fathers at home, and they had more time to spend with children. Because of the COVID-19 process, the scale was prepared as an online. That's why it's shared with the parents. In sharing the link, not only parents, but also teachers working in different preschool institutions supported the process. Like I sent the teachers who I know, could you please share with your children's parents this survey? And most of them say, of course, we can share. And I collected the data during this time. For the data analysis, I used the SPSS, and because of the descriptive analysis, and also based on the because of my studies aim, I used the t-test and one-way ANOVA analysis for showing the statistical significance levels. This is the descriptive results. I had GV means general views, LS means life science, PS means physical science, ESS means earth and space science, these ones. SAS means science at school. And you can see the maximum and minimum points scores from the survey of parents. I would like to show you the one of the like we like to show the results about the t-test about like gender differences. In here you can see easily mothers versus fathers. As I see, the results show that mothers have statistically significant scores, higher scores on life science activities with children. I was thinking why, because in life science activities they have a chance to gardening activities. That's why maybe they spend more time. That's why their views on the life science were the higher. In education background, as you can see in here, in most of the dimension like life science, physical science, earth and space science, and science at school, in the survey, all these 4 dimensions have statistically significant results on the parents' score. And as I see, most of the parents' higher scores were coming from like a graduate and above, and also undergraduate parents. Based on the age, like I had the age also descriptive statistic on the table 1, and based on the age, only earth and space science activities and also questions were statistically significant when I compare with the other ones. And as I see in the ages one, the high score were coming from 26 and 30 years old parents. I'm sorry, 31 to 36 years old parents. Spending time at kitchen and gardening activities. This is the really important part of the study, and I also I would like to share in my final manuscript. These results show that if parents spend time at kitchen and also gardening activities with their children, it is related with their views about science and science activities at school, and depends on the time. And as I see in all dimensions, parents has higher scores if they spend more time on these activities. Discussion and conclusion. As a matter of fact, that parents' opinions about the science and science activities play an essential role in the science achievement of children in future. Like if you have a positive attitude towards science, your child probably will have a positive attitudes towards the science too. And in that times, you can easily support your child's and also answer your child's questions. The results in this study have shown that parents' views on science depends on the different variables such as age, educational background, spending time at kitchen and also gardening, and also their gender. We can see the conclusion, and these conclusions were not unparalleled with the previous study. This study was the statistically significant difference was found in the parents, and also we can see the similar results on the different studies finding. One of the critical findings in this study is that there are significant differences between parents' education background and their views on science. And also the age was the differences based on the statistical significance too. But I would like to talk more about the time spent at kitchen and gardening. And also unsurprisingly for me, a significant relationship was observed between the frequency of activities that parents can do at home with their children, such as kitchen activities and plant growing, and their perspectives on science and preschool science education. This COVID-19 pandemic show us if parents can get a support from their teachers or professional for how they can support their children to improve their children's science knowledge and also science education, they can do the better for them. Also, this was also related with their perspectives on science. In conclusion, this study observed a relationship between the parents' gender, educational background, age, and also spending time on kitchen and gardening activities. Parents may have had the opportunities to realize importance of preschool science education based on the teacher's guidance for science activities at home. Like they need more support how they can do science at home. If parents interested with the science, they can get more support and also more guidance from their teachers. If they have less interest with science, they has less guidance and also support in their children. I would like to take the questions after the presentations, all presentations. If you have a questions, you can write for me. And also, here is my contact information. Thank you for listening.